Hey, I'm Ann Ricketts with Lighthouse Communications, and today we're going to talk about how to be on target. And when I say target, I mean your audience, the people listening to you. So how can you connect with them and make sure what you're saying really resonates? And this seems like this would be simple enough, but it's actually a challenge for so many people. In fact, the top complaint that people have about presentations, both formal and informal, is that the content is often irrelevant to the audience. And it's something that I see every day in my job, is that the speaker assumes that the listener is interested in the same thing, or they assume that the listeners understand why they're there or what they're saying is important. But a lot of times the audience doesn't get it unless the speaker explicitly makes that connection. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. So if you want to truly be on target, you need to get out from your own perspective and take on the perspective of the listener. And you need to ask yourself 3 things, very important things, from the listener's perspective. And the 3 things are: why should I care? What does it mean to me? I never thought of it that way. Let me explain one by one. Why should I care? Your very first job, anytime you present to a group of people, is to convince them that they need to know what you're about to say. Right? It's the same thing when you're in the audience. You're willing to give the speaker about 30 seconds to a minute to persuade you that you really want to know what they're going to talk about. And if you really want your audience to care, remember that people are inherently interested in what pertains to them. So make that connection. How does it relate to them? This general "why should I care" quickly turns into the more specific "what does it mean to me?" This is especially important when you're presenting internally. For example, let's say that you're leading a meeting to your team and you're talking about some recent change on your team. The people on your team are going to want to know, how will I be impacted? Do I have new work hours? Will the people on my team change? Do I still have a job? And finally, I never thought of it that way. The biggest challenge in any presentation is to see if you can develop some content that's totally new, that includes some fresh insights and brand new information that will make your audience say, oh, I never thought of it that way. So those are the 3 things. Let's repeat them. Why should I care? What does it mean to me? I never thought of it that way. Now that we know the 3 keys to making content hit home with our audience, I want to show you an example. We're going to see an executive who's starting out an all-hands meeting. And as you watch, I want you to imagine that you're actually a member of his team, so you're in the audience. And as you listen, assess, is he on target, right? Do you care? Do you know what it means to you? Did he make you say, I never thought of it that way? So go ahead and take a watch.
Okay, everybody, thanks for showing up short notice, I know, and I'm sorry I'm late. I got caught in the traffic, so here we are. You've been waiting for me, but thanks for that. Okay, the reason for the meeting is that I've got some, I guess what you would call changes and perhaps not so good news. We need to pull the Durango schedule up by a month. And I know before you all stand up and walk out of here that that's a problem, but Ed asked me last night, he wants to make that the highlight of his Las Vegas speech in a month, and no ifs, ands, or buts, it has to happen. So what I'm here to do is to show you the new schedule, kind of let that sink in, suggest any improvements you can make, but at the end of the day, we got to make it happen. And so here's the schedule, and I'm sorry about that, but away we go.
Now that we've seen that first version, we're going to see a second version. It's the same executive starting out the meeting, but as you watch, again, assess, is he on target, and how do you feel after this meeting?
Okay, everybody, thanks for showing up on such short notice. The reason for the meeting is, as they say, good news and perhaps some not so good news. The good news is, I think you all know that what we've been challenged by as a company for the last year or so is whether or not we could really make an impact in the mobile space, combining what we do today with what people do in their mobile lives. And there's been some question about that. And that's why, of course, we're working on the Durango project. It's probably one of the most important things that the company is doing. And you guys are really doing quite a great job on it. And I want you to keep that up. In fact, that's the other side of the story. I want you to keep it up at a little faster pace, because we've decided to feature that as the main element in Ed's speech at the Las Vegas conference. So it really is a chance to show the world that the company understands what it takes to be in mobile, that we've got innovative technologies, that we're ahead of the rest, and that we're going to blow this thing out of the ballpark.
All right, so you just saw the 2 different versions of the same meeting. And what did you think? Did you feel a difference? I'm hoping that in the second version, you feel more involved and invested in the project, right? And here's why. It's because the executive answered these three things, right? The why should I care is the company needs to make a statement, and this is our chance. The what does it mean to me is, tighter deadline, longer work hours, but the possibility for this recognition. And I never thought about it this way, is that this is this opportunity to show the world what we're doing and the team who's working on it. So hopefully you see it makes a huge difference in terms of collaboration and persuasion when you're on target. So keep this in mind the next time you present to any group of people. Make sure that you address these three things to be on target. Thanks so much. This is Ann Ricketts with Lighthouse Communications.